There's something strange in the air in Pittsburgh, and it's not just the weather. Big names have started circulating behind the scenes. Controversial decisions are leaving fans confused, and even veteran players seem to be losing their patience. Meanwhile, the most untouchable figure in the franchise is being questioned like never before. A major update is coming out of the Steel City, and you're gonna want all the details. Hit that like button, and let's dive in. Things are getting spicy in the Steel City, and not in a good way. Around the league, scouts and execs are starting to side-eye the Pittsburgh Steelers offseason and wonder what in the world is the plan here, because whatever it is, it's got folks whispering that this might be the year the legendary Mike Tomlin finally feels the heat. Now, let's be clear, Tomlin's resume is rock solid. The guy's never had a losing season. That's unheard of in today's NFL, but even legends can get caught in the crosshairs when the team's direction starts to look like a dartboard. Pittsburgh hasn't won a playoff game since 2016, and after another early exit in January, fans expected a big swing this offseason. Instead, it's been more like a bunt. Remember all the offseason buzz about the Steelers trying to land Aaron Rodgers? That sizzle fizzled fast. Rodgers is still a question mark with that blown Achilles, and Pittsburgh didn't exactly go big to fix their offensive line or add game-changing weapons. So what did they do? Oh, just shipped off George Pickens, a walking highlight reel and a sideline headache, and then flirted with going all in by trading for DK Metcalf, only to backpedal from that too. One high-ranking agent summed it up like this: "This feels like a fire Mike Tomlin offseason. Yikes." AFC scouts are echoing the same vibes. One told reporters bluntly, "It's not good." With Russell Wilson and Justin Fields both trying to resurrect their careers in black and gold, the QB room feels more like a rehab center than a war room. And without Pickens, you're not just losing a playmaker, you're draining the locker room of a big personality, for better or worse. Sure, the defense might be tougher, but in this league, offense wins games, and the Steelers seem to be bleeding more talent than they're gaining. One scouting director didn't hold back. If you've got a smaller quarterback, you've got to surround him with talent. They did the opposite. So yeah, the Steelers may still have Tomlin's consistency, but this offseason could be the biggest test of his career, and if the team stumbles out the gate, the whispers might turn into full-blown roars. Is Tomlin really losing his grip, or can he still be trusted? Drop your thoughts in the comments and stay tuned, because the Pickens situation has some behind-the-scenes drama you won't believe. The George Pickens saga in Pittsburgh is starting to look less like a football move and more like a long overdue locker room exorcism. Sure, when the Steelers shipped him off to the Cowboys after the draft, it raised eyebrows. We're talking about a guy with sky-high potential, someone who, even without a stable QB situation, still racked up nearly 3,000 yards in 3 seasons. But now, we're hearing the behind-the-scenes tea, and it's clear, this wasn't just a front office decision, this was a locker room-fed move. Veteran Steelers insider Mark Kaboly lit the match on Monday, revealing that several key players had grown tired of Pickens' antics, not just annoyed they were done with him. And we're not talking about rookies or role players either. We're likely talking about big locker room voices like Cam Hayward, TJ Watt, and Pat Freiermuth, the kind of guys that when they say someone's hurting the team, management listens. The new reports paint the picture of a guy who had all the tools to be a superstar but couldn't get out of his own way. Immature sideline blowups? Check. Questionable media quotes? Absolutely. And apparently the vibe inside the building had gotten so toxic that even Pickens' raw talent wasn't worth the daily drama. The Steelers have a long-standing history of saying thanks, but no thanks to receivers who don't fall in line. Antonio Brown, Chase Claypool, and now Pickens. Outside of Hines Ward, it's been a carousel of talent that either flames out or gets traded once the ego outweighs the effort. What's wild is that even though the Steelers clearly took a talent hit in the wide receiver room, it sounds like this was an easy call internally. With DK Metcalf now in the mix, it softens the blow, but the group still needs help. The decision to move Pickens might have looked like a gamble from the outside, but for those inside the locker room, it might have been a breath of fresh air. Now it's up to Pickens to prove he can grow up in Dallas, and not just be another talented headache. On one hand, the coaching staff seems lost. On the other, the locker room sent a clear message. Talent without discipline doesn't keep a spot. If the offense doesn't click, this gamble could come at a steep price. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next chapter of this Steelers soap opera.